Hi everyone, my name is Brooke. I'm the founder of Beatbox Kids. Many of you know me already. And this is my son Ace, who's my partner in crime. And today we're going to show you a little non-messy paint activity. For some of you, you may have seen my post earlier this week about what this activity would be. It's a really simple activity to try at home. It requires just 3 materials: tempera paint sticks, which we have here, and transparency papers, which we have there, and a pair of scissors, which we're going to use later, but we have it for now. So today, I'm going to give you a little overview about how I set up Beatbox materials. I'm very intentional and mindful in how I set up all of the materials I use, as well as what I do choose to use. Today we have all of our tempera paint sticks set up in these little containers. Do you want to show everyone? We really love these. They actually come from Dollar Tree. You can also find things like this at the Container Store. They're easy to put away, but also you can use a range of materials inside. The other thing that we love to use at home is, remember, these aren't lipsticks, they're for drawing, is we love our, can we help lift this up? Look, it's a little TV top table, and we often use that to work at home. Yeah, but we want to teach everyone about painting. We don't want to teach everyone about eating the materials. As you can tell, you have to just sort of go with the flow about what the project will be and how it will go based on how your child is feeling that day. So Ace and I actually started some already. Can you show our friends how you drew on this one? Yeah. So it's very, very simple activity. You start with paint sticks, and you're actually going to draw with them right on the transparency paper. I put my transparency on top of white paper, so that way as your child is working, they can actually see the colors pop through. There honestly is no wrong way to do this project. It can be as abstract as you want it to be, or if you have an older child and you want to create designs, that's also an option. The idea is to fill up the whole page with paper, whatever that color may be. Oh, you're excused. So that's the first step. Usually I would say for a child 1 and up, they can stay pretty busy coloring for a while. But if for some reason your child does not seem interested for more than, like 5 or 10 minutes, that's okay. Children actually have a much shorter attention span than we realize. And sometimes even with my own son. You rolled it up really high. I have to break up the activity into a certain amount of pieces in the day. So I might take 10 minutes to do this, and if it seems like he's lost interest, I'll revisit again later in the day. So once these are done, our second part is we actually use our scissors to cut them out. Like this. Your scissors are right here. I'm going to use these scissors, and these scissors will be for you, okay? Those are Ace's scissors. These are Mommy's scissors, okay? Remember, Mommy's are a bit sharper. Oh, you would like to trade? But you know what? My scissors are actually a little bit sharper, so that's why.
What for Mommy?
And then these are for Mommy, and these are for Ace.
What for Mommy?
Obviously, when you're working with children, it is a constant negotiation. My little guy likes any of the materials that he sees me use. And so I will often let him use materials that are pretty mature under my guidance. I definitely believe you create and parent for the child you have. So, you have to really trust who your child is, and sort of just let them go with the flow. So the next piece is I'm actually cutting these out. You can actually cut them in whatever shape you want. You could be really, really abstract about it and make sort of, any sort of funky, non-geometric shape. You can cut them into triangles. This is like a shark's tail, a shark's fin. So Ace, pardon me that I have to interrupt. What's happening is that all of the ones we have, they're rolled up too high. And then we're starting to lose some of our pieces, and we won't have them to use for our project anymore. I will say, as an educator who's been working with children for about 25 years now, patience is your number one asset. I have it most often, but I will tell you that I don't always have it with my own son. It's very easy actually to be patient with other people's children. With your own son, it can be challenging. And so, as you can see, although we're working on this project together, Ace has a very different idea about how he wants to use the materials. We now have our sticks that are now broken up into little pieces. The challenge is, I honestly could get very upset about this, but it's already done. So what I'm going to do is think of other ways that we might be able to still use these. So maybe it means that now we're going to pick them up and actually color with them with our hands. That's okay too. There are some things, obviously, that you want to keep neat. Other things you might be open to. And if you're comfortable, everyone has a different level of comfort level as far as like how they want to treat the materials they're using in their homes. So once we've started cutting them out, I'm going to put this away for now. We actually already have some all cut up. All cut up. We actually have these that we made already. We have pink circles and yellow circles, and Ace has some more he's going to bring over to share with you. We have some triangles, and this is where it becomes really open and honestly as free as you want to create with them. The triangle, I have a triangle I could share with you. I'm going to move the paint sticks out of the way. We'll move the paint sticks out of the way, and we'll give you some more space to work. I have a triangle for you here. And so this is where you have an opportunity to collage with them. You can actually glue them down if you want to, or you could just use them as movable pieces. Oh, do you want to put it down on the pink paper you chose?
Sure.
We also, the other thing I love about this activity is that, and probably my most favorite part, is come back over here so everyone can see what you're working on, and make sure you're working sitting down with the scissors. I do have some rules for him. Is that you actually can stack them to create new colors. So here we have a pink one and a yellow one, and if I stack them on top of each other, we get orange. Would you like to show them? How does that work?
Yellow, pink, yellow circle, and pink circle.
And then what could you do with them?
Put one here.
Oh, you see, he's enjoying sorting them on his page. Earlier today, we actually created with the shapes we have, because one of his favorite. Can I show everyone what we made? And then I'll give it to you to play.
I was a square.
Okay. We actually created a basketball hoop. He took part of it away, but you know, we made a little shape like that, and we put on, we cut a smaller orange circle, and we were actually pretending that the circle was going in through the hoop. Sure, I'm going to put it back together. I'll put it here for you. There are a few things I really, really love about this project. One, it really requires minimal materials. Some of these materials you might not have at your house, but they are still available on Amazon. It's the tempera paint sticks, transparency papers. You could even use cellophane. I have a roll around cellophane here somewhere, and then scissors. Once you have those things, it really, like, the possibilities are endless. You can arrange the shapes together. It's an excellent opportunity to take really simple shapes and either create an object or create something abstract, or use it as an opportunity to teach about color blending, modern art. I mean, there are so many different ways. And absolutely. Look, I made it here, and then I think we lost our basketball. It's around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. It's an excellent opportunity to sort of just see what they're interested in. These materials also store really easily, and once you've created any of these things, you can actually just stack them all up. The one thing that I forgot to mention about the temper sticks is although they go on sticky and wet, they actually dry within like 5 minutes. And so once they're dry, you can keep them for a really long time. They don't come off on your hands. They're really, really, really great to use and reuse over and over again. We have a whole stack. I like have them saved up in sheets to be cut, also used all together. The other thing we can do with them is we can also use them and stick them on surfaces. This is one thing that we're exploring yesterday. May I have a piece? Okay, you do it yourself. Can I have this one piece?
No.
Well, I was going to show you. The talent is not always cooperative. What I was going to show you, can you stick it on here for me?
No.
What I was going to show you is we can actually take some of these pieces and include them in another place, either like a blank roll of paper or even just right on your brick wall or the walls of your house, whatever you're most comfortable with. And the kind of tape, painter's tape is great, which is what we're using right now. Here, this piece, what I'm going to do is roll it up. And I'm going to put it on here. And then I was showing, look, we could put it where the planet is.
No.
So there are ways that you could incorporate this beyond just working flat on a blank sheet of paper. We also incorporated different colors. So like on this one, we were exploring putting it on turquoise paper. On this one, we were exploring putting it on white paper. Another wonderful surface to work on this is actually our light board, and they're really amazing on there. Let's see if I can pull it closer to you. Our light board has been stepped on a few times, so the plug does not work the same way it used to. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulty there, but you can see on our light board, you can actually stick them on there and create, a different way to explore on another surface. Yesterday, we were working on a mirror. I just put the mirror out on the floor and we arranged all different shapes on the mirror. And it looks like, he found an iPad. And in all of our time that we're trying to avoid technology, it seems like it's come and visited us. Ace, we're not going to use this right now, okay? Anyway, hopefully that was a little bit of help for you. Thank you for joining me on my first ever video content. Obviously, everything does not always go as planned, and that's okay. As a parent and an educator, you sort of just have to go with what works. And if something stops working, it's okay to stop, and it's not a complete failure. It just means that maybe the moment or the day was not the time to try it, and you can always try it again later. Thank you for joining.